Hey you guys, it's Colleen Riddle here, coming to you live from Santa Rosa Beach on this Monday afternoon. Beautiful day here at the beach. Just about ready to go train my last client for the day, but I wanted to pop on here because I know at this time of year, a lot of people are concerned about crazy holidays and how can they fit everything in and how do you not gain weight through the holidays. I read a stat the other day that the average person can gain up to 10 pounds from Halloween until New Year's. So I want to help you avoid that. I'm actually going to be doing a live seminar here in Destin, Florida on December 1st about how to get through holiday survival tips for your health and wealth. I've actually partnered with two other people, a CPA, Luke Smith, and a financial advisor, Joe Nelson, and we're going to talk about how to survive the holidays and not go gain weight and not to get yourself into debt and all sorts of cool things. But today I just wanted to hop on and give you some six quick tips on how to have a healthy Thanksgiving. Okay, so here you go. Tip number one, when you're making stuffing, if you make stuffing, go lighter on the bread. Make it a lot more full of, the onions and the celery. You can moisten it up by using low sodium chicken broth. You can even put some fruit in there, maybe some apples and some cranberries. So just back off on the amount of bread you use in your stuffing. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is, when you have your turkey, instead of having it with the skin on, simply by taking the skin off, I wrote down the stat because I wanted to remember, you can save 11 grams of the saturated fat per 3-ounce serving. So that's one way just to lighten up the calories, is have your turkey without the skin on. As you hop on, say hello. I know most of it's in the middle of the day, so I just wanted to hop on. Maybe most of y'all catch this as a replay. Hey Jen. Hey Terry, welcome. Hey Stephanie. So I'm just joining you guys today for a quick 6 tips to have a healthy Thanksgiving as you go into this week. I know a lot of my friends are already traveling, so tip number one is just use less bread in your stuffing. Tip number two is enjoy your turkey with no skin on. So let's move right into tip number 3, and that is, we all love mashed potatoes, right? For Thanksgiving, it's just yum, it's a staple. But you know what we have been doing is we have been doing cauliflower substitutes. Have any of you tried that? Where you over steam cauliflower and you make it like mashed potatoes? We actually even did this with John's family. I think it was last year, and I was surprised how many people liked it. I was afraid. I was like, oh, they'll have the regular mashed potatoes, but I'm going to try this as a healthy substitute, and people really loved it. You can make it the same way. You can even put some butter and some sour cream in there, but it's amazing how good it tastes, and you really won't miss the mashed potatoes. So try that. You just put garlic in there, flavor it up, but you over steam the cauliflower, and then you whip them up with a blender like you would mashed potatoes. So that's a really great, fun side dish you could bring if you're going somewhere. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is just remembering what Thanksgiving is all about and really enjoying your atmosphere, enjoying your family, enjoying your friends that you're around, instead of making it all about the food and just, shoveling it in while you're eating. Then just enjoy your friends and family. Hey Denise, welcome. And just remember, that's what it's all about. I think sometimes we get too consumed with the food and everything's about the food. And so that's my tip number 4, is to just enjoy the experience. Make it less about food, more about the people. All right, so tip number 5. Appetizers. Do you know that so many times you can easily consume over 1,500 calories of just appetizers before you even sit down to dinner? So really be mindful of the appetizers that you're eating before Thanksgiving. And, bring a healthy appetizer. Bring some fresh fruit tray, fresh veggie tray with some good hummus. But just, avoid the heavy cheese dips and the anything fried, that's just going to, so many times when that happens, you sit down and you've already stuffed yourself on the appetizers, and then you don't eat your good meal. So again, just be aware of the options as you're going through and eating appetizers. Again, sometimes we get mindless and we're chatting. So, you know, one of the things I'm going to talk about in my live seminar, I'm going to give 6 overall holidays, like how to survive the holiday parties. And if I get a bunch of comments and you guys want that aren't here locally, I will do a webinar based on that. But I've got 6 incredible tips to help you manage all the holiday parties that are coming up. So if you guys want me to do a webinar on that, make a comment and I will do that for you. But I'm doing it live here in Destin. So if you're in the area on December 1st, we're doing it at the Destin Chamber of Commerce with the CPA and the financial advisor. So, all right, so that's tip number 5 is be careful of your appetizers. And tip number 6, the final tip, what is something coming from me if I'm not talking about exercise, right? But if you noticed, I saved exercise for the last tip. Why? Because you can't out-train a bad diet. How many of you heard me say that before? That's my motto. You can't out-train a bad diet. All right, Jen, I've got one for a webinar. Oop, I got Ann too. Okay, well, if I get enough, I will do that for you guys after Thanksgiving and after December 1st, maybe that next week. But really great ideas of how to make it through all the holiday parties that we have to go to. So exercise. This week, you know, a lot of people, the kids are out of school. You can do something fun with your kids. But at least on Thanksgiving Day, do something. Something is better than nothing. You know, don't feel like, well, I don't have a whole hour, so it's not going to be worth it. You can do great workouts quick. So the key with a quick workout when you don't have much time is you need to make it more intense. So the less the amount of time you have, up your intensity. For example, today I didn't have much time. I literally only had 20 minutes to do my workout, and so I did a Tabata workout. Tabata is where you do 20 seconds of intense exercise followed by 10 seconds of rest. So I put together about 8 different exercises. It was 16 minutes of intensity, and it kicked my butt. But 20 minutes, I'm in and out with my warm-up and cool down, so something's always better than nothing. Get that metabolism stoked Thursday morning of Thanksgiving. Yeah, and great. Get out and play football. And after you eat. So, you know, like our family, we eat usually in the middle of the afternoon. So what a great thing is to load up the kids and just go for a nice little walk when you're done to help things settle. Because, you know, sometimes when you eat too much, you're just like, oh, you're so bloated, it's so full. So going for a walk after is always a great way to end Thanksgiving. And again, keeping it around camaraderie, getting the kids out, enjoying that family time. You know, for me, I'm not going to be spending it with my family. We're going to John's family. But, you know, that's the time we don't get to see them all the time. So just to enjoy the company, make it less about food and more about the people. You possibly show us a 20-minute hardcore workout. Yes, I can do that when I do the webinar. Okay, I'll add that in and give y'all some examples of that because it's really great and you don't need equipment either. So I will definitely do that. Great suggestion, Anne. So here's a place where y'all can comment as well of what you want covered in that webinar as far as, you know, holiday survival. I've got my 6 awesome tips for surviving the holidays and holiday parties, but if there's anything else you want me to cover in there, I'm happy to do that. So just make a note there, and when I review this, I will put that together for you guys. So just as a wrap up, I gave you 6 tips to make it a healthy Thanksgiving. Number 1, use less bread in your dressing. Up the onions, garlic, celery. If you want to put some cranberries, apples in there, moisten it up. Turkey. Tip number 2 is enjoy your turkey without the skin. Okay, that's going to save you 11 grams of saturated fat for just a 3-ounce serving. Tip number 3, experiment with, instead of mashed potatoes, do steamed cauliflower like mashed potatoes. You oversteam the cauliflower, super easy. You add garlic, you can add a little bit of sour cream. You can even put some cheese in it if you want. It's delicious. Tip number 4, savor the experience of family. Make it less about food, more about the people. Really enjoy your time together. And just remember that's what Thanksgiving is all about. And be full of gratitude and not so focused on the food. Number 5, appetizers. Be careful not to overdo on appetizers when you go to a party, and bring a healthy appetizer. Bring a fresh fruit tray, a fresh veggie tray. So just stay away from those heavy dips and fried options. Those will catch up with you real quick. And tip number 6 is exercise. So go out there, you guys. I'm grateful for all of you who hop in and always give me such great feedback. I really appreciate you. And if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Make comments here. I will put together a webinar for you guys about how to survive the holidays if I get enough interest, okay? So thanks, everybody. Have an awesome day. See you next time.